Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to the Robin's Nest. Today on my channel, I get to show you guys how to make this epic Gravity Falls themed cake of the supernatural villain, Bill Cipher. Now for those of you who haven't seen Gravity Falls before, there's only 2 seasons, which kinda sucks. But it's about a brother and her sister, Mabel and Dipper, who go visit their grunkle Stan for the summer at his place called the Mystery Shack. And it's full of all sorts of supernatural fun and mischief, but that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anymore. You guys have to check it out yourself. It is so funny. So funny, in fact, it has been my family's personal favorite for at least the last 3 summers when we're just relaxing at our camper. It is so good, and I'm so excited I get to make a cake for you guys today. So let's get into it. So for this Bill cake, I want it to be in an upright 3D position, but I don't want it to be too difficult. I want it to be easy for you guys to recreate. So he's not going to be standing or floating. We're just going to have him in an upright seated position. But we're going to need lots of layers to stack to make sure we get it tall enough. So I'm starting with a 9 by 13 inch vanilla cake layer, and we're just going to begin by leveling it out to make sure it's nice and flat so our layers stack perfectly. And then I'm going to tort this into 2 separate layers. Now once I'm finished that, the next thing we're going to do is divide this into 3 equal portions, and we're going to make 2 long cuts to give us 6 layers to work with, and that should be enough, hopefully. So I'm going to get this trimmed down, make all my necessary cuts, and then next I will explain to you guys how to stack and fill it. Alright, time to stack and fill. So I have my measured and my cut cake layers. I have an offset spatula for icing application. I have an 8 by 13 inch cake drum, which is nice and thick so we can hammer a couple of dowels in this for support. I have a big bowl of bright yellow American buttercream, which I've colored with Wilton lemon yellow. And lastly, I have my template. So what we're going to do is start with our very first layer, then after each layer, actually, we're going to hold up our template and make sure we're making each of these layers long enough. Now once I reach about 75% of the way up, we're going to add our supports inside, then we're going to finish it off and bring it to a point at the top. Then I'm going to pop this in the fridge to chill, and we're going to allow it to firm up a little bit so it'll be ready for carving. Okay, so I had my cake in the fridge for approximately 30 minutes, and now it's nice and firm and it should be ready to carve. So we're going to take our template once again, and we're going to lay this against the front of our cake, and we're going to cut out our triangle shape. Then once I'm finished that, we're going to take our serrated knife and we're going to smooth out the front and the back sides and get rid of any lumps or imperfections that might show through our fondant later on. Then once I'm finished that, we're going to add a nice thick layer of buttercream to seal in all these crumbs, and that's also going to give us a nice base for our fondant to stick to. Alright, time for our crumb coat. So we're just going to use the rest of our yellow American buttercream, and I have a variety of tools that I'm going to use to apply it and smooth it out, such as my small offset spatula. I have a little flexible smoother, and I also have a bench scraper, and these are all going to come in really handy. Now once I'm finished covering my cake entirely, we're going to pop this sucker in the fridge for a time out because we want him to firm up and get him ready for our fondant application. Alright, while he's chilling for a bit, we're gonna make a few decorations. So all of these decorations are super simple to make, and most of them are made by simply rolling out a snake shape and just shaping the ends a little bit. So we have a little bit of black and a little bit of white fondant here, and the first ones we're gonna start with are gonna be his hat and his cane, because I want these to dry a little bit first. So, as you can see, I've made a little template here, and this is just sheerly for size reference. This isn't going to actually be used, but I need to know how big to make it, so that's going to be handy. And then the next ones we're going to do after that is going to be the eye and the bow tie, and I'll show you guys how to do that right after I finish this one. So I stuck those in my food dehydrator for a little bit, and they should take an hour, maybe 2 at most, to dry completely. And once they've fully cooled, they should be nice and firm. So the next decoration we're going to work on is going to be his eye and his little bow tie. And these are just going to be really simple. We're just going to roll out little pieces of fondant, nice and thin. Then I'm going to use my template to cut out the shapes that I need, and then we're just going to piece them together and set them off to the side. And once I'm finished with those, then we're going to move on to his arms and his legs, and they're just going to be more like the hat and the cane. We're just going to roll out the little snakes and just shape them ever so slightly, and then we're just going to set them off to the side while we finish up our cake. Alright, so I finished all my decorations, and now it's time to get that final layer of fondant on our cake. So we're going to set these off to the side, grab our cake, get it covered up. So our cake is a bit of an awkward shape, and it is going to be a little bit difficult to cover. So I figured our easiest method of application is going to be the paneling method. So what we're going to do is take this nice big piece of yellow fondant, and we're going to roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then I'm going to take my template to cut out a rough size of the shapes that I need, and then I'm going to get them into place. Then we're going to clean up our edges and make it all nice and neat, and then I'm going to add a few little details to the front, and I'm going to slap on all our decorations, and I can show you guys the final product. Well guys, here he is, and I think he turned out super neat. He looks so realistic. I can almost hear his maniacal laugh. It's so awesome. Well, I hope I encourage you to watch the show because I promise you, you won't regret it. It is so funny and so good, and your family is going to love it. And I really hope you enjoyed the cake and the video too. If you did, you guys know what to do. Leave me a big thumbs up, leave me lots of love in the comment section too, and if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you receive a notification every time I post a new video. And if you guys try it out yourselves, I want to see your creations. Tag me on my Insta at the Robin's Nest 83. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.